Welcome back, Acadiana. Let's start off with those rain chances since we have a lot going on for this week coming up. But at least for MLK Day tomorrow and also for Tuesday, we are staying pretty dry. Those rain chances are at 0%. But as you can tell on Wednesday, that's when we'll start to see those rain chances start to increase as a coastal low pressure system bring us scattered to widespread showers, possibly a few isolated thunderstorms embedded with those showers. But right now we'll have these rain chances pretty much all the way through next week. And right now it is a marginal risk for heavy rainfall for a small portion of Vermilion and Jeff Davis parishes for Wednesday. So we can get a few cells that can prompt heavier rainfall that can prompt any flash flooding concerns. But right now it is mostly for southwest Louisiana, but we still have a couple more days until we get to Wednesday to see some differences in that forecast once we get some more models in here. So as I mentioned earlier with the rain chances right now between Wednesday to at least early Friday afternoon, those rainfall amounts pretty much vary from at least 1/10 of an inch around Morgan City to almost 1/2 an inch here in Lafayette. But in the purples there in northern central Louisiana, that'll be a little bit closer to that 2-inch mark. So we are expecting a good bit of rainfall over several days, but only take this as a suggestion because we can definitely get some higher amounts than this, especially with that marginal risk in southwest Louisiana. So the ice accumulations, what I mentioned earlier, that first weather, now this will be coming up for this weekend after a major cold front rolls in, so that will likely drop those temperatures below freezing, yes, again, for this weekend. And right now the Euro model suggests those ice accumulations around Alexandria and north, and it does hint at ice accumulations around 2 inches around Interstate 20, and as you can tell around Interstate 10 and south, not seeing any ice accumulations, but the GFS model, it does bring those accumulations all the way near the Gulf Coast. And right now that does vary between at least 1/10 of an inch to at least 1/2 an inch in a few locations. But of course we are about a week out and we can still get some changes in this forecast, but it is something to keep an eye out for as we get closer to the end of the week, because we are seeing those temperatures definitely below freezing for this weekend coming up. So let's start off with the Euro model on Wednesday. We'll get some scattered showers in here, also a few pockets of heavier rainfall amounts as well over the next several days. So this is about Thursday afternoon how things will look. But check it out, on Friday, that's when we'll start to see that snow and that mixing layer start to push in here early on Saturday. And the Euro model does hint at this mixing pattern or mixing precipitation for majority of Saturday afternoon. But as you can tell, it stays mostly in northern central Louisiana, whereas for us in Acadiana, it stays mostly for rain. But it is a very thin line of that mixing layer around Alexandria, but snow does start to mix in there in the northern portions of the state around Sunday morning. So this is exactly a week out how we will see things then. But after that, Sunday night into at least Monday afternoon, staying pretty dry. Now the GFS model, it does have that mixing a little bit further south, so still we get some differences in that forecast, especially for this weekend coming up. So it is something to keep an eye out for as we get closer to the end of the week. Temperatures for today, very cold this morning in the upper 20s. We did hit 50 degrees earlier this afternoon, and we are likely to see that light freeze again tonight in the upper 20s to low 30s for us in Acadiana. Lafayette will get down to at least 29 degrees, but at least for MLK Day, we'll finally break out of the 50s and get into the low 60s for tomorrow with sunny skies. Now, very nice conditions continue through Tuesday, but with another cold front, we'll see those temperatures drop off. After that, we're dealing with a pretty active forecast all the way through the end of next weekend. But stay tuned, we'll have another look at this 10-day forecast later in the show.